You sounded less like Seth Rollins and more like Drew McIntyre.
Seth Rollins to turn heel and attack six-time WWE Champion during his big match on Raw today? Chances explored. Seth Rollins is coming off a brutal match against Drew McIntyre in the main event of Raw on Netflix last week. The Visionary claimed the victory, but the Scottish Warrior assaulted him after the match, while Sami Zayn came to the ring and saved Seth Rollins from Drew McIntyre's assault. He accidentally hit the former World Heavyweight Champion with his finishing move. This Monday on Raw on Netflix, Zayn and McIntyre will collide in the main event of the show, just 6 days before the Royal Rumble match, where all three of them will participate. The question is what Seth Rollins will do and whether he will interfere in the match. Rollins has a feud with McIntyre, but at the same time, he could turn heel on Sami Zayn, getting revenge for what happened last week. Even though it is a likely scenario, WWE Creative may not plan for the Visionary to have a heel turn until the Men's Royal Rumble match or after the Premium Live event. It would make more sense, especially if CM Punk won the Rumble match and got a guaranteed title shot at WrestleMania 41. The most likely scenario is that Seth will get involved in the match, but only to help Sami Zayn defeat Drew McIntyre and build some momentum ahead of the Royal Rumble match. Seth Rollins says rivalry with Drew McIntyre is on. It was a WrestleMania 40 rematch between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre on Raw on Netflix last week, and the latter's post-match assault on the former showed that their feud was far from over. This is what the Visionary said in an interview after the match, admitting that the rivalry with the Scottish Warrior was still on. Yeah, rivalry's on, and that's fine, like I'm supposed to be some kind of mad guy with him, McIntyre. McIntyre, you're a good wrestler, but after that match, I would expect more sportsmanlike behavior, not some thuggish action. Competition should bring out the best in us, not resort to underhanded tactics, Rollins said. H/T, Wrestling World. Heading into the Rumble match, this week's episode of Raw could shed more light on what is next for the three superstars. WWE to repeat history with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 41? Exploring the possibility. WWE WrestleMania 41 is less than 3 months away, and former world champion Seth Rollins is likely to play a major role at the show of shows in Las Vegas. However, there is a chance that the Stanford-based company may repeat history with the Visionary this year if an AEW star returns to the sports entertainment juggernaut. At WrestleMania 38 back in 2022, Rollins was the first opponent of Cody Rhodes upon the American Nightmare's move from AEW to WWE. Furthermore, the Architect was the first to confront former AEW World Champion CM Punk after the Best in the World's return at Survivor Series. War Games 2023. Meanwhile, after a 3-year run with AEW, Malachi Black is reportedly expected to leave Tony Khan's promotion. However, Black would be free to sign with some other promotion only by February or March as per media reports. Therefore, in case Malachi Black decides to return to WWE, the Triple H-led creative team has the opportunity to repeat history with the Visionary by booking the Dutch professional wrestler's first big match upon his return against Seth Rollins. It will be similar to how Cody Rhodes returned at Mania 38 and had his first match against Seth. Notably, Rollins also has some history with the erstwhile Aleister Black, as the two feuded back in 2020 during the pandemic era. However, the angle is speculative at this point. Seth Rollins was accidentally attacked last Monday. Last week's edition of Raw on Netflix was main event by a singles match between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. The match ended with the Visionary scoring a jackknife pinfall win over the Scottish Warrior. After the match, Sami Zayn showed up and accidentally hit a hell of a kick on Seth while attempting to hit Drew. The Canadian tried to explain his actions to the Architect afterward, but the seeds for Sami's heel turn may have been planted. Fans will have to wait and see what the Triple H-led creative team has in store for Rollins and Zayn after what happened on last week's Raw. Seth Rollins to snap and turn heel. Major streak to finally end? 4 finishes for Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn on WWE Raw. Monday Night Raw will be airing later tonight on Netflix. The show moved to the streaming platform at the beginning of the month and has become a major hit. Part of that success comes thanks to huge matches being booked. For example, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa were booked for the first week. Another major match Triple H and World Wrestling Entertainment put together was a WrestleMania rematch between the Visionary and Drew McIntyre. The Scottish psychopath is set for another big match on Raw on Netflix. This week, he'll be going one-on-one with the underdog from the underground Sami Zayn. The former Intercontinental Champion and McIntyre have had issues for a long time. So the bout makes sense. This article will take a look at a handful of different ways the upcoming bout could potentially conclude. This includes a shocking heel turn ending the bout in chaos, a surprise appearance from a SmackDown star, and more. How could the match between Drew and Sami end? Drew McIntyre is a major star. He is a multi-time WWE champion who has also managed to hold the Intercontinental title, World Heavyweight Championship, and even the NXT Championship in the past. While McIntyre has accomplished a lot, and in theory, doesn't need to cheat to win matches, he's not above doing whatever it takes to win. The use of excessive force, cheap shots, or even weapons are all options when it comes to the former WWE champion. Sami Zayn will give Drew quite a fight, so there is a chance McIntyre will cheat to win their bout. If Sami is giving too much for Drew to handle, an eye poke or low blow behind the referee's back, and a claymore could spell the end for Zayn. Number 3. Sami Zayn could finally break the losing streak on WWE Raw. Sami Zayn is also quite accomplished in WWE. He has held the Intercontinental Championship, United States Championship, Tag Team Gold, and the NXT title. He has also been in the main event of WrestleMania. For as good as Sami Zayn is, his luck has been bad with Drew McIntyre in WWE. The two have had 11 one-on-one matches across Raw, SmackDown, and Saturday night's main event since 2021. In those 4 years, Sami has won a grand total of 0 of the bouts. Sami has a brutal losing streak against Drew, but that could end on Monday Night Raw. If he pushes through the beating and manages to eventually deliver a hell of a kick to Drew's jaw, Zayn could finally get a pinfall victory and end the streak once and for all. Kevin Owens is one of the top stars in World Wrestling Entertainment. In fact, he is challenging for the undisputed WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble, which should be a huge match in front of a massive audience. Recently, Owens made a surprise appearance on Raw and confronted Sami Zayn. The two have a long history together, but Sami was clearly worried his longtime friend was going to attack him, thanks to his alliance with Roman Reigns. Kevin didn't do that, however, instead hinting the two should help each other win at the Royal Rumble. In order to prove that Sami should help the prizefighter, Owens might show up on Raw and help Sami win. He could nail Drew with the Winged Eagle WWE Championship behind the referee's back and allow Zayn to get a taint.